Hi everybody, I wanted to do a quick review of the Lotte Hotel in Guam. This is an oceanfront property that overlooks Tumon Bay. It's about a 5-minute walk from the heart of the tourist district in Tumon. It opened in 2014, and as we enter the lobby here, you'll notice that it's welcoming. It's not the newest or the fanciest that I've seen on island, but it's definitely a modern and inviting space. The check-in process was straightforward. It was easy, nothing out of the ordinary. I always appreciate not having to stand at the front desk for 20 minutes while they're trying to check me in. You'll probably notice that there aren't a whole lot of guests around. It's March 2021 when this was filmed, and the tourism industry hasn't come back from COVID yet. There's still quarantines in effect for people returning to the island, and so my wife and I have stayed in a few of these resorts just to do something different because we haven't been able to get off island in about a year and a half. All the common areas were very clean, very nice, well decorated. As somebody who used to work in a skyscraper, I appreciate the fact that their elevators were quick and efficient. Maybe nobody else cares about that, but I definitely did. You'll see this little guy in a second who we found on the floor. These geckos are all over Guam, and they're almost impossible to keep out of anywhere. So he had somehow made his way in. The room that we got was a deluxe oceanfront twin. They only had twins available at the time that we booked, but it was very clean. We were very satisfied. It had a desk, 32-inch TV, coffee maker, fridge, plenty of space. The AC was working well, nothing out of place, nothing looked dirty. I'd say the two most impressive things really were the bathrooms, which were, I think, marble and very nice, a lot of room in there. And really the shining feature of this room, and the reason you might want to consider it, is the balcony view. And as I walk out onto the balcony here, you'll notice that it faces to the southwest, so that's Tumon Bay right there. And you can see almost all of the other resorts. You got a great view up on the 12th floor. Even on the lower floors, you'd have a pretty solid view. And there's a couple of the nice luxury hotels there we have as neighbors. That's the Subaki Hotel, which is right next door. And then the Hotel Nico is beside that one. You've probably heard that Guam has some amazing sunsets to offer, and if you're interested in watching those, which who isn't, this hotel is perfect. It lines up and the sun sets almost directly across the bay. My wife and I then walked down to the pool area. There were at least 3 pools. A wading pool of shallow depth, a more traditional pool of medium depth with a basketball hoop and volleyball net, and then this really nice infinity pool that overlooked the bay. A lot of pool chairs, umbrellas, nice facilities, very clean. There were people cleaning them as we were walking around, so overall very nice. There were a limited number of cabanas that guests could reserve for a period of the day. I would say that I imagine this area would probably be very crowded when this hotel is at max capacity, so you might want to keep that in mind. Walking inside of the fitness area, again, very nice, impressive. Full set of dumbbells, weight training machines, several cardio machines, treadmills. There was a laundry area for the guests, which could definitely come in handy. From there, we set out to see what we could see. Some of the lounge areas. A few of the areas were closed because of COVID. There was a lounge that was closed, a banquet area that was closed, but this lounge was open. I think it may also double as a restaurant when the hotel is operating at a little bit fuller capacity. But it was a nice space, plenty of seating area, overlooks the pool and the bay, and I just really think that these are pleasant spots that you'll enjoy if you decide to stay here. To summarize our overall experience and our stay, I would say it was great. I really only had 2 minor complaints. Number one, the Wi-Fi wasn't the fastest, and there was also a strange lack of outlets in our room, especially by the bed. I don't know what that was about. There were a lot of things in the positive category, though. Number one was the view from the room. It was fantastic. We felt like the room was accurately described online, and it met and exceeded our expectations. Everything was clean. It was a good experience. This is probably one of the smaller hotels, at least the oceanfront hotels. The facilities aren't quite as sprawling as some of the larger locations, and it doesn't have quite as many amenities, but it's also really close to the heart of Tumon, so that might negate some of that. If we were to benchmark it against some of the other resorts and hotels, I would say it falls squarely in the middle of the price to luxury bracket. It isn't the cheapest accommodation, it's also not the fanciest accommodation. It falls squarely in the middle of those two extremes. I feel like it represents a good balance between budget and luxury, and I wouldn't have any problem recommending this hotel to someone looking for vacation accommodations on Guam.